one. Oh, there's no turning back for the both of us. No point of denying the truth. Let go of the past and get stronger. Just believe in the fire between us. Believe in me, believe in love. Believe in the fire between us. 'Cause it will be so heavenly. Just believe in the fire between us. Believe in the fire between us. Believe in the fire between us. I know what you're facing, I know what you fear. But soon you'll be ready, your mind will be clear. There's no turning back for the both of us. No point of denying the truth. Let go of the past and get stronger. Just believe in the fire between us. Believe in me, believe in love. Believe in the fire between us. 'Cause it will be so heavenly. Just believe in the fire between us. Believe in the fire between us. The love in our hearts is causing these flames. The will in our minds will keep them forever. Just believe in the fire between us. Fire between us.
We've had this conversation and you seem to agree with me. But when there's complications, you withdraw and leave me to be. When there's a problem, you become like a wall. And every time I trip, it's a free fall. Why don't you help me the way I help you? You don't have to save me, just be my parachute. When I'm feeling down, you're just not there, making sure I'm okay. Why don't you help me the way I help you? Understanding, you're such a sensitive guy. When your friends are hurting, you make sure to stick around. But when it comes to me, you don't wanna know. Yeah, every time I trip, it's a free fall. Why don't you help me the way I help you? You don't have to save me, just be my parachute. When I'm feeling down, you're just not there, making sure I'm okay. Why don't you help me the way I help you? Help me the way I help you. Oh yeah, the way I help you. Why don't you help me the way I help you? Don't have to. I've got you now. My body and body, oh, body and body, oh, body and body, oh, body and body. I know love now. You're stuck in my mind. My body and body, oh, body and body, oh, body and body, oh, body and body. Friends don't like that I'm with somebody, that I'm with somebody. Oh no, oh no. I just want to stay in this melody, stay in this melody. Oh, oh.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to Tuesday Night Studio Sessions. My name is Sean. I'll be your host. I hope you're having a good night. I am back from the South Florida drone meetup. I got back in Nashville around 7 yesterday. And I thought I would crash, but I didn't. And today I've been feeling like a cold's trying to creep in. So trying to stay healthy, but I always say this. I always say we're going to have a short show because I'm tired. But I don't know. There might be something exciting that happens tonight, and we might have a long show. I don't know. Last week 808 showed up and we had a good chat. I had someone to feed off of. Chuck's been in lately. So that was good. I didn't even have time to fix my hair. All right, let's see if I can do this backwards. Get the waves in. Oh well, that's what you're going to get tonight. Yeah. So since I've been back, I've thought about the Foxhorn brand, and I gave out stickers and I wore several T-shirts over the weekend, and I was coming back and I was looking at. I saw a lot of like Texas Longhorn logos, and I really like the silhouette of the horn. And then I ate at Longhorn Steakhouse, and I really like the horns. And I was like, my icon right now has too much fox and not enough horn. So I've been playing around with making the foxhorn a little bit more horny. So I'm going to show you guys what I've been working on. I really want to get and it's actually this shirt that, so if you guys can see, I like the name. I might add a horn to the other side of the end just so it's even. Because right now it kind of looks like a apostrophe or umlaut or something. But I don't like the negative version of the fox. It looks more like a wolf when I do a symbol. So I'd really like to, make it, a solid orange fox. Like right now, if you look up in the corner of the stream, it's like orange is what you see, and I really like that. So we're gonna play around with that a little bit. But yeah. So I'm gonna go through your comments. We went from 12 down to 8. So I don't know what I just said, but I hope you guys hang out. So I'm going to run through the chat and see who's here. Looks like John Carroll was first. John, it was great to meet you in person this weekend. Had a great time hanging out with you and, learning more about your life and, just hanging out and talking and watching you fly your drone, and it was pretty cool. John's not feeling very good tonight, so he's just going to be kind of listening. He might chime in a little bit. East Coast Thrills, what's up, Dusty? Hope you're having a good night. It was great to meet you too. Exploding chips, hashtag exploding chips. So we had just kind of a random conversation about, I forget what started it. I think we were talking about batteries exploding on airplanes. And then I brought out this random knowledge that I got from working in retail, where we had certain trips that if like chips were manufactured in this state, they could only be shipped to this other state because of like if chips were, and I don't remember exactly what the exact science is, but if chips were like, just for example, this might be opposite, but if chips were manufactured at a high altitude and then you brought them to a lower altitude. So, okay, this is what I think. If you manufactured chips at a low altitude and then you went at a higher altitude, the air in them would expand and the chips would blow up. So we had to plan out the routes that we would ship our chips, or we would give enough slack in the bag of chips so that they wouldn't explode. But one of the examples that I gave him was, when you get a bag of chips and they're like, the bag is this big and you only have like this, a small amount of chips in there. It's because the bag, so there was a whole bunch of air between all the chips. And then when it was shipped, they got the whole bag contracted and like pushed all the air down. And then when the bag opened back up, all the chips kind of stay where they're at. So anyway, that's why I said that. Eat More Possum is third. Throwing out some happy thoughts to John. He called me, what'd you call me, Brent? You called me the Gap King or something. Talking about my latest video that I put out. Who else we got? Jim's Droning is in the house. What's up, Jim? Hope you're having a good night. Nothing better to do than to show up to the live stream early. That's all right. I got some good music on there. You can jam out. So, Eat More Possum noticed that the channel name is not Foxhorn. Are you talking about the link or the club? So, Foxhorn is going to be the brand, and I'm still going to be Sean Ide Studios. That might be confusing for some for a little while. But just think about like the original Dobo, Ken Dono, like they're all the same person. But if I can get Foxhorn, I might. But there is another channel that doesn't have anything on it called Foxhorn. So that might be misleading for a little while. But we'll figure it out. So East Coast loves the hat. Okay, I got to call you Dusty from now on, or I'll forget your name is Dusty. Dusty likes his hat. I gave him, he was begging for the hat for a couple weeks, and so I gave him a hat down at the drone meetup as soon as I saw him. Luckily, we were friends on Facebook, so I knew what he looked like. I didn't think I knew what he looked like, and then I went to his channel, and I found this other thing, and then I went back to Facebook, and I was like, okay, I had to connect the dots. So Grumpy Vlogger, what's up, Lloyd? Hope you're having a good night. We got to meet in person. So good to meet you. He said he's sitting at the Houston airport waiting for his flight back to Tulsa. I'm trying to get his phone charged too, but I wanted to say how great it was meeting you, Sean. I will also leave a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. It was so good to meet you in person. The Grumpy Vlogger is someone that I've been watching for years, and he's been watching me for years, and I've been on his stream, and he's been on my stream. And when I saw him, I was like, oh my gosh, that's Lloyd. So I had to go up and meet him. And we had breakfast together Saturday morning and got to talk about some personal stuff. And it's always cool whenever, what I love about meetups is that, and I've only been on a few, but I plan to go on a lot of them. But what I love about it is I don't feel like I'm completely different when I'm on camera, but I definitely put my best foot forward when I'm on camera. Like I try to, have some showmanship. I try to fix my hair and brush my teeth and all that. But I also, since this is kind of a platform, I don't want to, talk about personal stuff on here. I don't want to, be unsafe and all that kind of stuff. And the good thing about meetups is you get to see people off camera, and you get to like really, it's another level of kind of friendship. And it was really cool meeting you, Lloyd. And I appreciate everything that you do for the community. And yeah, it was awesome. Joe Merrick is in the house. What's up, Joe? Hope you're having a good night. Who else we got? Call Steven Drones. Yeah, where is Steve tonight? Hope he's doing okay. Longhorn on the house. Longhorn on the fox sounds unique. Yeah. Too much fox, not enough horn. Yep, that's a good way to put it. The horns are tiny, and when I was designing it close up, and then, which I know this, but you should always like make your logo really small and see what it looks like small. And the blade sticker, I mean, it turned out good. Don't get me wrong, I like the sticker, but next time I'll probably do the blades different color. But I think it'll look really good with those horns sticking out on the side. The other thing that I'm really trying not to do with the fox is I've done a lot of research on fox heads and icons and what other people have done with foxes. And it's real easy to make it look satanic. And I don't want to do that either. So I really want it to look more like a barbecue joint is what kind of the style that I'm planning on going with. Right now up in the corner, it looks like a kind of a mascot for a team. So I want to take that. That's going to be the detailed logo. And then I'm going to back it up a little bit and make some simpler versions of it just so I can do, stuff like this where it's not so crazy. So yeah, so that's exactly my point. The horns blend in too much. You don't see the horns, and I want like the silhouette of the shape to have the horns sticking out. So, play with the horns and you'll get the Sean. Yeah, I'm gonna use that phrase a lot. You mess with the pilot, you get the horns. Little things like that with Karens and Barkley's in the house. What's up, Barkley? Hope you're having a good night. Tell Jenna I said hi. Yeah, I said horny. I kind of did that on purpose. I'm in a weird mood. There's something about like, spending a weekend with a bunch of different people and different personalities, and they're, some of the people I hung out with kind of brought my probably brought like college Sean out a little bit. Like we hung out with. We went to dinner with Brad, B-Rad, TJ Giggles, Maddie, and those are the people that were kind of right around me, and Lloyd. Man, TJ Giggles, if you get him going, you can make him laugh really hard. And I'm pretty quick when it comes to saying funny things. I'm like turning into that dad joke guy. But I made it my goal to just make him laugh. So yeah, I'm still kind of coming off of that high. I want to catch up to the chat really fast because Brent called me Sean Gap Daddy Eyed. Novice Quads, what's up? Hope you're having a good night. Welcome to the chat. So, Novice Quads, were you at the meetup? I don't know what you look like. I'm going to look you up right now. I'm already subscribed to you. So Novice Quads, are you those guys? Tall, bald dude. All right, got you. Nice. Welcome to the chat. Hope you're having a good night. So Grumpy liked beating me too. That's awesome. Who else we got? Who else we got? Barbecued fox. Doesn't taste as good as possum, but it should be all right. What else we got? I want to get through the roll call so we can get into tonight's. Those guys, 100%. All right, I'm all caught up. So I want to show kind of what I've been doing. I did this last year at the drone meetup too. Like I did a rebrand to Sean-Eyed Studios right before I went, because I was, that's kind of when you make stickers and t-shirts and stuff. And I was like, I want to freshen this up a little bit. So I'm going to zoom in. Oh, the other problem that I had this week. So the last 2 live streams have been flagged for copyright because of one of the Epidemic Sound songs that's in the countdown before the live stream. And so I disputed the first one, and the second one I was like, I'm just going to trim it out because I was live from my camper car, and then tonight I was like, I don't want to deal with this every week, so I cut that song out. But I gave YouTube my subscription name on Epidemic Sounds, and but I think what happened is the guy on Epidemic Sounds that made the song that I like, it's a remix, and he used a background track that was copyrighted. So I haven't really told Epidemic Sound, but anyway. So I want to share with you guys what I'm thinking about. And I'm only planning on going to 8 tonight unless somebody comes in the stream, which I haven't put the link. Let me put I'm going to put the link down here and see if anybody wants to show up. All right. So now we're going to share. All right. So this is kind of the current logo. And like in silhouette mode and everything else, the horns are kind of part of the shape. And when I was designing it, I was like, it kind of makes a cool little container. But what I realized was it wasn't really big enough. What's up, Gary? So you're back home. It was awesome to see you again. Awesome to meet your wife. Had a good time hanging out with you. Maddie's in the house. What's up, man? Hope you're having a good night. Yeah, dude, it's so good hanging out with you. Yeah, always enjoy your company, Maddie. I think you're a stand-up dude. So this is kind of where it's at, and you can see over here. Oop, nope, I don't want to do that. Like here, when it's small, like you don't really see the horns at all. It just looks like a little figure. Like even here, like all of these are kind of, the horns don't, like Dusty said, too much fox and not enough horn. So this is kind of where I've landed. I made the horns bigger, so the fox is now hornier. And I'm not going to comment that. But so this is kind of the direction I'm going. I made the horns bigger. So, and like I was looking at all kinds of logos, and I started looking at Longhorn cows, and then I was looking at the Chicago Bulls logo, and I was like, the Bulls logo it's small enough, but you see the horns, you can tell it's a bull. So I took the horns that I had on the fox head, and I made them a little bit bigger and stuck them out. All right, Lloyd, have a safe trip, man. Again, good to see you. So this is kind of where I went with the horns. And then the whole point was to make it so that I could do shirts like this, where, you know, it's like one color, and kind of like the Nike symbol. You can kind of put that on any color you want to. So this was kind of a detail one color. And you still get, the horns are still there, and it's very prominent. It's kind of a good square logo a little bit. And then I simplified it even further here. So, and then I might try it with just the silhouette, but I feel like this is as far as I want to go with the silhouette. Because if any of you have had a Stanley Cup or thermos in the last, I don't know, 5-10 years, their icon has a bear on it, and there is a little white like mouth, like a snout for the bear. So I thought you get the idea that it's a fox, right? And then you also get the idea that it's got horns. So this will kind of be the flat logo. And then I thought we'd do it live just to see what it looks like completely silhouetted out. So all right. Sorry, there's a couple keys that are different on a PC than on a Mac. So when I'm on my Mac in the background, when I'm on the Mac in the background, it's got different things. So we're gonna come in here, and we're gonna uh-oh. It's not working. It almost worked. Not sure what's happening. too complicated. All right. So I can't do that live. Always something happens. But this is kind of what it would look like as a solid color. So, all right, since that's broken, let's see if we can. I'm just going to try something. I don't know about that. The eye's too complicated, I think. So there's one-sided too. So anyway, or maybe, oh, we can't do that. Anyway, so I wanted to show you guys that little presentation. Mario Knapp is in the house. What's up, Mario? Hope you're having a good night. Did I miss anybody? I think that's everybody. If I missed you, let me know. So Desi said, I was in Royal Rangers. It's like youth at church. I wish it could have been a Boy Scout. It's where it looks like one of the badges. Oh, that's funny. I was never in Royal Rangers, but we had it at my church. Who else we got here? Mario Napa. All right, Barkley's battery's dying, so he's out. Good to see you, Barkley. Always good to see you, man. So your best friend, DJ, came totally out of his shell. He had a blast and loved hanging out with all you guys and meeting you. Everyone can't wait till next year. Which one was DJ? Is DJ the guy that I talked to about the chips with you? I really liked him a lot. He laughed at what I said. So whenever someone laughs at my jokes, I think they're a cool person. No, he was really friendly and we had a good time. All right, I'm gonna take this off the stream. And oh yeah, DJI Gone Wild. That's right. Yeah, whenever he told me his name, I thought he was gonna pull his shirt off. I gave him an idea of like playing the theme music for like Girls Gone Wild, and then like pulling up his shirt and then switching to a drone coming out, like a video of a drone coming out of his shirt instead of boobies. So I thought that was pretty funny. But so still playing with the Foxhorn. I think I've almost got it nailed down. I'm going to update all the designs of the t-shirts that I have. So Dusty, you have a one-of-a-kind hat because the logo is a-changing. Yeah, I think that's really cool. I think it's really cool to have like, if you've picked that as your name, then I think you should go with it. And you can even play with East Coast Thrills too. Yeah, he was a cool cat. So let's see. What do I want to talk about? So DJI introduced the RS Pro and the RS4, Pro and the RS today, RS4, and it looks pretty awesome. It's got, every time they come out with a gimbal, it has stronger motors, and I like the every time a new gimbal comes out, they pay attention to how frustrating it used to be to put a camera on a gimbal. And so they've added a couple things. So the locking of each axis is always great. So that's been on gimbals for a while. The LiDAR on the Pro is great because a lot of people, you get such a better picture out of manual lenses, like Cine lenses, but you lose like autofocus. And like for me, I have to have autofocus. If I don't have autofocus and I move, then I go in and out of focus. And especially if you want that kind of buttery blur in the background, it's really hard to have blur in the background and be in focus and not have anybody manning your camera, like all those things at the same time. So the LiDAR that came out on that gimbal, it looks pretty awesome. What else? The going back to like putting your camera on the gimbal on the fly, they've got like placeholders, which I think is a great idea to, in the past, you've got like on your gimbals, you've got like a ruler on the side, you've got like millimeters or inches or whatever. And you've got, you have to kind of write down where your camera sits on each axis. But having little placeholders, little gaps, the best thing that ever happened was when they put a base plate for a camera that just snaps right in place. And now they have placeholders. So there's something happening in my nose right now, and I don't know what it is. Like my eyes are starting to get watery. I'm not sure what's going on. But yeah, so they released that. And then the Avata 2 comes out in 2 days, Thursday morning at 9 Eastern, I think. So pretty excited for that. I dropped my kid off at 8. Like we get in the car and we drive. So I'm hoping that he's running a little late on that day so I can pull the trigger and buy the drones, buy the Avata 2. I'm planning on getting the Avata 2 and the controller, like the Flymore and the controller, and then in a couple months, upgrade, or like if I need more batteries and stuff like that. But I've got enough money on the PayPal credit so that I can pull the trigger on that, and then I don't have to pay interest if I pay it off in 6 months. So the plan is to do that and buy it really quick. So Gary, I got sunburned in Florida, but I feel like it's gone already. Or at least it looks like that on the camera. I'm at the stage right now where my skin is tight and itchy. So I'm hoping I don't peel, but I just might peel in the next couple days. But yes, I'm sunburnt. I thought Saturday was a perfect day. It was just a little breezy, a little windy. I just edited a video. I'm pretty excited about some of the video footage that I got. This year it wasn't too windy, so I was able to fly. And I also brought drones that I could fly in the wind. So I brought my Mavic 3 Classic. I brought the Avata with the Axis Flying upgrade kit on it. And I got such a cool flight. I I didn't go out to the sailboats because I really didn't want to lose that drone. And I'm always kind of worried whenever there's other drones in the air. But so I was able to fly back and forth kind of over the event. And then to the right of the event was this barge with this huge crane on it. And I hit those gaps, which I'm kind of used to flying those gaps here. But like when you fly those gaps in Nashville, there's gravel on one side and gravel on the other side, and it's not that interesting. But this time it was a crane on a barge, and there was water and a dock over to the right, and then land over to the right, parking lot, gravel drive or whatever. And then I went through it, and on the other side was this beautiful, like, long walkway dock, and that you could put your boats on. And I was like, man, it was awesome. I got some awesome flights. One in Georgia. I put that up from the hotel. Just a quick Avata flight. But I also, at that same location, I got a Mavic 3 flight. And so I'm going to be putting that footage up. I got, and then the other story that I have to tell you guys that you won't really see for me. I mean, I'm going to put it up, but I'm going to take my time with the video. Was there was a lot of traffic on my way home toward, like, when I got to one of the major cities in Alabama. I'm not sure what order they're in. I don't remember. Huntsville was the last one. So maybe like Birmingham was under that, and then maybe Montgomery. So maybe Montgomery was like rush hour, like morning rush hour. Everybody's going to work. And so it took me off the interstate onto one of these side roads. And I really think as a drone flyer, these side roads is way to go, because you can't see anything from the interstate. But you go a couple miles off the interstate and there's like this beautiful thing that happens. Like that's how I found Thomasville. Like I decided not to go the turnpike in Florida, and I drove through Thomasville, and I was like, this is the cutest dang town I've ever seen, with the most beautiful park I've ever been at. And so that's how I got to fly that park. And so on the way back, I got to go to, I don't even know what town it was, but there was a sign that said Railroad Museum. And I was like, I'm just going to pull over and see what that's about. At the least I could do is, like, buy a ticket and go around with my VR camera or something. Well, it was closed on Mondays, and there's 2 cleaning ladies out there. And I said, I just want to let y'all know I'm going to fly around. They were like, oh, they were really excited to watch me fly my drone. So I had this whole train museum to myself. There's maybe 4 other people that I saw while I was there. And I got to fly. Like, I got my Avata down between the trains, and I was like flying through the trains. And I flew through the train where you get on the train. I don't know, the train station. I flew through the woods over railroad tracks, and there were all these things that I was like, man, I never would have seen that if I would have just gone straight through Montgomery, So, so anyway, so what does Gary said? What did Gary say? I got so burnt it drew blood, nose and forehead. I had to get Band-Aids. Oh my gosh. Oh, you had a convertible. See, like, I went from the hotel to the car, and then when I got to the drone meetup, I spent most of my time under the gazebos. Every once in a while, I walked around outside, but for the most part, I was talking to people under the gazebos, or I was flying my drone. That's another thing. This year at South Florida Drone Meetup, it went by so fast. Like last year, I had my wife with me, and she got to hang out with someone, but as a husband, I always wanted to make sure that she was okay, so I kept going back and checking with her. And I had conversations with people, and I couldn't fly last year because it was so windy. And this year I could actually fly, and and I spent some time flying. So it was pretty cool. So Mario said, you look the same in person, but Marcus Crawford was taller than he looks on the screen. Billy Kyle looked the same too. Yeah, I appreciate it. I think, well, I don't know how to say what I want to say. Thank you, Mario. I did look like the same person. It was really nice meeting you. It was like, you're one of the few people that came up and told me who you were. There were some people there that kind of, different people have different like social anxieties. So there were some people that just kind of looked at me but wouldn't come up and talk to me, and there were other people that went the other way when I came towards them. And so I always look for friendly faces and smiles. And as I was telling Lloyd, I was like, I want the world to be a better place with me being in it. So I will always greet everybody with a smile. I will always be happy to see them. And I will always encourage them to be, I just want people to be better knowing me and not worse. And you've got a choice whether to make everybody around you smile or mad or angry or bitter or jealous or like any of those bad qualities. There's no reason for that. When I was a kid, I was chubby. Spoiler. No, I'm just kidding. I'm chubby now. But when you're a kid and you're chubby and you're like one of the only chubby people in the class, you tend to get made fun of. And so I was picked on, made fun of when I was a kid. Didn't like myself. I was depressed as a kid. I'll say that. Tried to kill myself a couple times. And when I finally got confidence and I finally, found purpose in my life, and, like I was talking to DJI Gone Wild, and I forget exactly what we were talking about, but I got a TJ Giggles shirt that's large, and I know it's not going to fit me. And so I probably made some fat joke then or whatever. But I was like, y'all think I'm joking, but God designed this. Like this, like the way I look and the way I am, God designed me this way. And so I don't think he makes mistakes. And I don't think he makes mistakes with anybody. I just think we have different flavors, and we choose whether we improve people's life or make them worse. So I choose to make everybody happy. Oh, I forgot about this. Yeah, this is a cool story. So Gary brought his wife, and so there was a guy. I don't know who he was, or we didn't really meet. But during the giveaways, there was the giveaways take a while. And some people put their cameras on tripods. Well, this guy decided to fly his Mavic, I think it was an Air 2S, I believe, or an Air 3. Might have been an Air 3. And he flew it pretty close to the gazebo, and like about, I don't know, 5.5, 6 feet in the air, and just let it sit there. And I mentioned a couple times, I said, well, it's kind of drifting a little bit, trying to just be nice about it. But I also thought it was dangerous where he had his drone. And Gary's wife, I think she was going to the bathroom or something. And she she was looking down, probably trying not to sprain her ankle on the sidewalk and the sand or whatever. And I yelled at her and I was like, watch out. And like, she was walking straight towards the drone, but what didn't see it. And like it was, I feel like she might've walked under it. Like if she'd have kept going forward, she'd have gone under it. But I think it could have easily like sucked her hair up into it, or worst case would have been a blade straight to the forehead. But that's what Gary's talking about, that I saved his wife from decapitation. So, Dusty, the shirt, I still have it. I think I'm going to take a picture of me in it and send it to TJ. But, the funny story about that, and I think you were there, Dusty. But I told TJ that I got a large, and I was trying to hint at like to see if I could like switch it out for a bigger shirt, one that would fit me or whatever. But I told him that I got a large, and he said, "Don't worry, I think it'll shrink a little bit." And I was like, I don't need it to shrink. I need it to go the other way to get around my gut. But it was pretty funny. So Mario said it looks like the fox has mouse ears. Yeah. So that's a good point. The horns make the ears look round and not as pointy. Yeah, we'll have to see. I'm looking at the silhouette now, and I think the silhouette they definitely look more like triangles. Now that the horns aren't kind of rounding the edges, but yeah, they do kind of looks like Mickey Mouse a little bit. Charles Gillespie's in the house. What's up, Charles? Hope you're having a good night. I'm bringing sexy back. I'll definitely bring sexy back in that TJ Giggle shirt. Gary said he told a couple dad jokes by the pool and thought we'd have to give TJ CPR. Yeah, man, you get TJ giggling? Like, TJ Giggles is a perfect name for him. I told him that, like, every time I see him on Facebook, like, I know when TJ Giggles makes a comment on someone's video or post or whatever, because he's got this cartoon version of him. So I told him I would take the cartoon version off of Facebook and convert it to something that he could make a t-shirt out of. But so Dusty said, what happened to Chuck's Eclipse live yesterday? Did Chuck go live at the Eclipse? I was on the road. I put the 360 camera on top of my car and went into Buffalo Wild Wings and had lunch. And then when I came out, like, I looked at the video today. I edited it today, but and I kind of pointed just kind of up at the sky, and I don't know, it's kind of just a cool sky. It didn't really get dark like last time. The last eclipse in Nashville, I think, went total. The eclipse in Alabama, where I was, I guess was 92% coverage, and it was cloudy, so it really just looked like cloudier. Like, it didn't, like, whenever the eclipse happened in Nashville several years ago, it turned night, and the bugs started making different sounds, and the street lights turned on, and then, like, there were all these things that happened. This year it was like, I don't know, it just looked like a stormy day. So I'm going to post the video, but it's not much to look at, to be honest. So, but yeah, did anybody else watch the eclipse? Did y'all have The other thing is I went to the South Florida Drone Meetup and I left my Eclipse glasses at home. So I didn't even have Eclipse glasses. So I took a picture of it with my phone, but it just looked like a cloudy sky. So Charles retracted a comment. What did he retract? Anyway, yeah, so I want to play you guys a video. Actually, let's look at the club. I haven't looked in the club in a while. Oh, Mario got a video through the glasses. That's a great idea. I never think of those things. Uncle Bill's in the house. What's up, man? Good hanging out with you. Always a pleasure. Hope you're having a good night. Welcome to the chat. Is this your first time in the chat? Or have you been here before? Ooh, it looks like we have some. I'm not going to do that. Looks like we have a video from. We're going to play Mario's video. So if you're not a member of the club, this is, I'll put a link to this in the chat. This is the club, and it's kind of like Facebook. It's something that I put together, but I've got several members from the drone community, part of the club. And it's just a place to post your videos, a lot like Facebook, but without all of the extra Facebook crap. I think Facebook's great, and I told a couple of people that if I don't, if not too many more people sign up for the club, I might just turn it into a Facebook group and not have to pay for it every year. But what I love about the club is I'm interested in everything that y'all post on it, as opposed to getting like graduation pictures and all that stuff. So Uncle Bill didn't know I was a nice person until he met me in person. What does that mean? Do I come off as, do I have a resting face, or I think the older I get, like the wrinkles are showing up here and I get like these, I don't know. Well, I think you're an awesome person too. And I kind of met you last year, but I feel like I met you more this year. So yeah, it was good to hang out. Always good to be down there. I wish it wasn't such a long drive, or else I'd be there more. But yeah, so I'm going to play 2 videos from the club. First thing is a dinner plate. Stephen Jones isn't here. I just missed that. So what's dinner with Bo Sharts? Oh, awesome. Yeah, I wish I could have just stayed down there for a while. But okay. I'm hitting a bunch of squirrels. Speaking of squirrels, Stephen Jones has a rock in his backyard that he puts a trail cam on, and he puts different kinds of food. I think dinner scraps and stuff like that. And so this is the trail cam dinner. got a crow. Squirrel. There's a fox. No horns, but we got a fox. See, that's a cool animal. We got a cat. Possum. Skunk. Are these all the same day? Another cat. Skunks are second. I should change my name to Skunk. I'm really digging it. Awesome. I love watching those videos. I really do. And then this is a video from Mario Napa. Mario, does this video have Epidemic sound on it, or do I need to cut the sound off? Just asking. I don't know if I've played a video of yours. I definitely haven't played one in a while. So going once. YouTube sound. All right, we're good.
Reservation for Napa and APPA.
Tickets, get out your tickets. Get your tickets. Get your tickets. Guess what? You did this one right? I think it's free. All right, here we go. $50 gift certificate, the Sticks Billiard Club. 112788. Bingo! Bingo!
Attention, attention, drone pilots. There is no drone flying here in this area. Your drones will be confiscated and thrown in the water. That includes you too, Barkley.
No, I don't have an iPhone. I don't have a Lightning USB.
Ray, Steve Knowles says you're looking good.
Ray's flawless. He said, hey, where my mom came? Hey.
Work hard for like.
Thank you, sir.
The New York State Board.
All right, here we go.
Oh, Canadian Board. Wow, I'm over here. Yeah, I can't find it. It's got the FEP shit in it, but I'm getting a Scott. And I can't find tickets.
I wasn't sure if I wanted to do it. Bill from Punxsutawney. Yeah, that's it, right?
TDS Mount, XT60 connected. There's some area.
About 30 minutes.
30 minutes?
I know we're all early now. There you go. The arm, they sell the, I don't want any right now, but thank you. I love candy. The strawberries are really good.
What's happening? How you been? Mario.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Mario, right?
Good, yeah. This is great.
Yeah. Oh, you're rolling, man. You're rolling.
Am I actually recording? I didn't think I was recording, am I?
Yeah. Thanks for coming. Crazy, man. You're lucky I brought my head with me.
I got it.
I'll bet it did.
Anyway,
Are you on Ray's list?
I am somewhere.
Okay, so if you're on his list, that put you on the list.
Just let me have attention for about 2 minutes. 2 minutes, and then you can listen while you're flying. But I was supposed to do this at 7:15, and obviously we've been very busy. I just want to welcome everybody to the 4th annual South Florida Drone Meetup. And I have to say, the only reason it's a success is because you guys come. And we have obviously a lot of sponsors. We got a lot of raffle prizes, and I gotta say thank you so much to our sponsors. But this drone community has really changed a lot of lives, including mine. And we do a tribute to a guy named Rick Halber, who died 4 years ago. And this is in memory of him. And we do it every year, and we're going to continue to do it. But we also have to offer our condolences to Lloyd Mendenhall, who just recently lost his wife, Judy. And this is in memory of her also. And I don't know if Lloyd is he here yet? I don't think so. I haven't seen him. Is he? Okay, he's here. But anyway, I also want to start this with a Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amen.
And let's have a moment of silence for our troops and our lost law enforcement officers. And again, I want to say thank you to each and every one of you for coming. So now let's just have fun. We'll get around to the raffle around 2 o'clock. And Jeff is going to be here very shortly. We got an editing and photography presentation scheduled for 11 a.m. But at 10:30, Nick Vita from Fly Days, a lot of you don't know who he is, but last year somebody left a Mavic 3 down here on this picnic table after we left. And he found it. And he tracked us down and gave that Mavic 3 back to Everybody knows Dennis Lovelady.
Yep.
And that was a big, big thing.
Yep.
So Nick's coming back anyway. He specializes in FPV flying and waterproof drones. He's going to do a demonstration around 10:30. He'll be out there. He'll be submerging the drone and taking off.
Cool.
And then at 10:45, we're going to try to break the record of the most drones in the air at the same time flying. Whoever wants to be involved, it's a very coordinated effort. You just can't send your drone up. We're going to do it one at a time and stagger them. And obviously,
Make sure you have a full battery.
hopefully we'll break the record of 18 drones.
Night train,
All right, who's up next? You already got all your stuff?
You got a preset height.
You brought some what?
Yeah, but I wanted to make sure I was here for a little while.
So you're not going to be here for the raffle?
Say you don't want to fly the drones, but you want to call.
Is that your water bottle there?
Yeah, thanks. Cell phone.
Only water bottle.
Yep. Cool.
That's why a lot of times I'll just take
That's your other bag too, right?
No, it's not my
So
bag.
yours-
Mine's back at the hotel.
Yeah.
It's fun, but it's not functional. It's not like something you can take on vacation or even get out for any old reason.
Very nice.
Yeah, you think people don't like your mini pros out there. You should see what they look like when this goes flying over their heads on a beach. They're like, whoa.
What is that?
That's an Inspire 2?
No, this is a 1. This is the version 2.0, so it has a lot of the same specs as the 2. Like the body's very similar, the camera's the same that comes on the 2. You're just missing the rear loading batteries. There's like the 2 batteries that go in that thing, so you get more like 40 minutes at a time. This one's only good for like 15, 20. It's fun, and it's like one of those things that you kind of have to come and see what it is when it lands near you.
Right.
Camera's good for stills, but as far as video is concerned, I think you have to do slow-mo to even get a 60 frame rate. So it's just like, it's not like, I just got an action camera that's 120 frames per second for the FPV drone. So it's like, it just gives you an idea, you know, how far technology has come in the last.
How old is that?
This is one of their first ones, probably 2017, 2018 it was probably manufactured. So it's the last version of the Inspire 1. But yeah, so anyway, you just start the engine. That camera's nice, huh? Yes. Good for stills. Hi there.
Take an Uber. Yeah, I would use that actually like about a year, and they do updates.
Moving, find them faster here.
The coaster?
I was trying to put them alphabetical order, and it became a nightmare. I kind of quit that before I started adding.
Find you did that.
Yeah, we don't have that national. We're going to go there all these days across the street.
flying around good, you know? Got confidence.
I got above that head under the
Am I done? That's it?
Jack Scotty, is that it?
I hear there's a drawing. Oh, yeah. Steve.
Falling into the water today.
I'm used to that already. When you live in Florida, you get used to that.
Sorry, you guys got to pack up and leave now.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you with the FAA?
No drone?
No drones. Y'all get out now. Wait. Y'all get out now. Leave.
Let me see that. Oh yeah, you're the guy with that.
Yeah.
Al was telling me.
What is that?
All it says is pilot aerial search team.
Yeah, but it has the Florida logo in it.
Well, it's a yeah.
Where'd you get that?
Online.
Oh,
You
really?
can get anything online. But you know what? You know why I have this? Karen repellent.
Does it work?
Oh yeah. I was at the place. I'm in the back of my car. My SUV's up, and then this. In fact, last year here we had a Karen.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We'll go with the Mini 3.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, they have the AI portion of it, right? That's when you were talking. No,
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I think I counted 19. Now one more.
All right, y'all. So I want to talk about this real quick. So, Mario, I'm so glad that you caught this. There's 27 drones in the air at the same time. And you mentioned that there's some transmission issues. So I don't know if you guys can see it, but this is actually my Avata that's on this. I didn't know that this is where you just kind of cut up fish. So there's fish guts all over that table. But this is my Avata. And this is the one with the Axis flying upgrade kit. So it's got like the 3.5-inch blades on it and stuff like that, and better motors. So I don't know if we're going to see it happen or not, but I'm going to tell the story before we watch it. So 27 drones in the air. I'm flying this without the goggles. So I use the goggles to get it ready to fly. And then I took the goggles off just so I could watch to see what happened. Cause I'm not flying FPV. I'm really just lifting it up in the air. And, I lifted it up in the air. And so it's 20 feet up in the air from the bait table. And then everything just cuts out on my drone, and it's just sitting there hovering, and nothing on my controller's working. No buttons, nothing is working on my drone. And so it's just sitting there hovering, and I'm like, man, am I going to have to get my big selfie pole and just just kind of knock it into the sand or something? Like what? Because I'm afraid it's about to just start flying towards the water and then dive. I have never had, like, all the years of me flying, there's been times when I've kind of flown out of range and it'll return to home, or like I'll fly like around, like a wall or something like that, or a water tower, and I'll lose connection. But I've never not had connection, like lifted it up and then completely lost connection. So anyway, that's my story. Mario said I should talk about that. And yeah, But I guess last year we had 18 drones in the air, and this year we got 27 up in the air. So yeah. So I'm gonna get off here and play.
Go in. Lukewarm.
We'll go next to the bait bucket. You got your
Nobody likes filming takeoffs.
on. So if you have goggles, I can set it to broadcast. You can tune in on your goggles and actually watch.
Oh, it's like the Christmas
sees.
displays. Turn it in.
Mark, go in for it, Mark. Okay, Mark.
I'll go get it.
Okay, Mark. It's your cue. Oh. How'd you do that? It wouldn't be successful if you did not attend, and we really, really appreciate it. I gotta say thank you to all our sponsors also. As you can see, we have a lot of sponsors. I'm gonna try to acknowledge the sponsors as we give out the prizes. And if we do not mention the name, we apologize, but we've been acknowledging them all along on our live stream. So anyway, as you guys know, the people that signed up, they were given a number on the South Florida Drone Meetup list. And that's just for, you know, a nice little prize at the beginning to start it off and try to get people to get on that list. So we're going to pull the first number from that list.
Do we have that number?
So you gotta remember your number. I don't want to have to look it up. 110. Who is number 110 on the list? Hey! Yeah. All right. Philip, Kocak. Sorry about that. Yeah, you're not, that was just a little prize. Get people to sign up. Want me somewhere? And then we got, Height and landing gear for the ministry. And some props.
The thing that I'm kind of doing donations on, I'm not giving everybody away my maker pen this year.
I guess I should show myself on the stream when I cut the video off. Well, I couldn't have done a better video on the, just all the amount of people there, a lot of the stuff that went on. There was a presentation there. I forget who gave the presentation, but it was there was a presentation on the TV about editing. There was East Coast put this link in the chat. There's a video from Fly Days of the waterproof drone at the South Florida Drone Meetup. So you guys saw the, if you guys want to check that out, East Coast put that in the chat. And I'm going to go ahead and I'll put that in the club. Yeah, it was such a cool little drone. And what he did was, you saw there was like a fanoodle strapped to the top of it, which made it float. And then all of the electronics he sealed to make it waterproof. And so he was just, flying into the water, and he made it look like, the drone stopped working. And I mean, it was really cool. So I gotta go through all this stuff real quick. Oh my gosh, for real? Well, dang, this is taking me a while to get in the club right now. I'm going through all the CAPTCHA. All right. So I'll do that later because we're live, right? Yeah, it says that he builds and waterproofs all of the drones. I want to watch his channel, figure out how he does it, and I might make a waterproof drone out of one of my Avatas. I think it'd be awesome to be able to fly in the rain. I might do some rain videos. So basically just figure out how to seal the electronics. From what I understand, I had several conversations at the South Florida Drone Meetup. That's a mouthful. And basically the electric motors are fine. Just the internal electronics is what will really get messed up if you get it wet. So as long as all of the solder joints are sealed, and motherboards and stuff like that, as long as that doesn't get wet, connections to your battery, little things like that, as long as all that's sealed, then it can get wet. But now what he did was he submerged it, which is like, it's one thing to fly in the rain, and it's another thing to like dip it in the water. So that's the difference between water resistant and water, I don't know, whatever the other one is. I can't think right now, but anyway, I'm looking into that, especially if I get an Avata 2. I have an expendable Avata that it might just be fun to have a water drone. Gotta be honest. One with a good camera on it. Like there are waterproof drones out there. I forget the name of the company. They're like an orange drone. And they make like fishing, like drones for fishing release and stuff like that. And they float. And I was actually looking at getting one before I went to the South Florida Drone Meetup, because I think it'd be fun to fly in the water. But their cameras aren't that good. So like I would want to take like a DJI drone that performs really, really well. Maybe the Mini 3 Pro. Wouldn't that be cool to have a maybe I'll take the Mini 3 Pro apart and just seal it and then dip it in water and see if it still works. But anyway, I think that would be really cool. I've always wanted to fly in the rain. I kind of flew the Mini 3 Pro in the rain a little bit, but man, anyway, that's all I got. And probably put like a little, I don't know. I need to stop talking. But yeah, that's the chat. Thanks everybody. Swell Pro, that's the name of the company. Gary, as always. Oh yeah, Mario said that it was saltwater. So what they said that you need to do in saltwater is the whole drone is sealed. So saltwater doesn't really get in the drone, but it gets in the motors. So you need to kind of dip it in fresh water to get all the salt off before, you pack it up or whatever, because that salt can really corrode, the metal and stuff like that. So yeah. And then Jim mentioned that Swell Pro is the company that makes the orange drones that float and go in water and stuff. So yeah, hope y'all have a wonderful night. Thanks for hanging out. Thank you for all the people that came in that haven't been here before. Gary said, make sure you hit the like button. I forgot where. Here he is. Gary is always good about making sure everybody checks the like button. It really helps the channel out. And something that really helps the drone community is going to other people's channels and just checking out their videos. The drone community is one of the best communities I've been a part of that really support each other. Whether you're an amateur or professional, what's great about flying drones is the subject matter is always different. A lot of times you get these videos of people just talking. And the difference is with the drone community, like you get to see like another part of the world from the air. And whether the drone is good or not, or whether, you're pointing at, cinematically or, it's bouncing around, it's still an interesting video just to get a new perspective in the air. So I appreciate everybody in the community. Thanks for hanging out and checking out the show. And I will catch y'all in the next video. I've got probably 8 videos I'm going to make in the next week. So it's going to be one of those times when I put a bunch of videos up and then I don't put another video out for a month or two. No. The Avata 2 is coming out in 2 days. So as soon as I get that, there will be videos coming. But yeah, have a wonderful night. Again, it was great meeting a lot of you in person. And I'm thinking about putting something together in the Nashville area. It will not be as big as the South Florida Drone Meetup. But definitely planning on getting some people together. We got Bob Casey's pretty close. Barkley's pretty close. Genesee comes with Barkley. And Ken's close. And I don't know if I get Ken Heron here, but Barkley might be able to get Ken here. And Doug, like, you're up in Michigan, so that's pretty close. It's not a far drive. Mario said there's so Bob Dempsey's putting together a meetup in Las Vegas in the fall. And we have Minefield in Tennessee. Doug, you could probably make Minefield. I don't remember what town that is. There'll be more details when it gets closer. But it's this huge metal like art piece that this guy put together, like water towers and watchtowers and big cisterns, and like he just anything metal he can find, he just welds it together, and it's this huge thing, and everybody just kind of flies their drone around it. Gary said November 9th through 11th in Vegas. Johnny Drone Flyer, what's up, man? such a good time this week, man. I love going down there and meeting all of y'all and hanging out and flying with you guys. Sorry you just showed up because I'm saying goodbye to everybody, but thanks for showing up, and always a good time hanging out with you guys. And so, all right, I'm going to say goodnight for real this time. Hope y'all have a good week, and I'll catch y'all in the next video. Peace out.